with that coat? You pissed it away on a silver platter in 6 seconds to Brock Lesnar.
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Acknowledge us.
Hey, guys. We hear the red carpet ring. I know I'm not my usual voice, though. We're talking about WWE Raw. Is this really the end of the new day? Bianca Belair gets WarGames advantage. You guys get the lights as we come in. I know my voice is a little scruffy right now. This is normally the Turnbuckle King TBK. I'm more like Turnbuckle DMX.
Hey, somebody let me know.
Somebody let me know. Hey, yo. So, salute to everybody in here. My voice will be back on track very soon. Like I said, I sound like a little DMX right now. I get it. You guys ain't used to that, but it's all cool. I'm still here. My voice is way worse than this before. Let's see who came into the ring before we begin. We got Mr. Approach. Salute to you. Mr. Good Ray Reaction. Salute to you. So, guys, we here live on Facebook and X as usual. And this is the final Raw before Survivor Series, which will be this Saturday. We got Survivor Series WarGames November 30th. And speaking of which, that will be the bonus round Survivor Series WarGames 2024 early predictions. And we got current news talking about the brand new, yes, I know you guys heard it yesterday, the brand new just announced WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. That will be the current news. But that's what we're going to talk about, guys. Let's talk about it. But other than that, let's get into the Raw match card, the match that were advertised for Raw. As you can see, these are the matches here. We got Bianca Belair versus Nia Jax. We also have a tag team match, New Day versus, they call them Alpha Academy still. We do have a tag team, another tag team match, which is LWO versus American Made. Then we have Bron Breakker defending the IC belt against Ludwig Kaiser. So we got a good lineup here. You said I sound a lot better. Thank you. I still feel like DMX though. Hey yo, still feel like DMX a little bit. Well, I think I sound like him a little bit, but maybe not as rough as DMX. But we getting that though. Like I said, happy holidays to all who celebrate the holidays. Thanksgiving is 2 days away. 48 hours from now. But this is the Raw match card. Let's get into the show, shall we? We are talking about Gunther's promo, guys. Gunther had a promo. He came out, he kicked off Monday Night Raw. Now Gunther came out and he talked to Jackie Redmond. You know, it was to talk about that. And then also, before Gunther could really get into his promo, he was interrupted by the recent challenger, and we talking about Mr. All Rise, Damian Priest. And Damian Priest, he been getting Gunther for the past couple weeks, guys. He been saying, you know, Gunther, if you say what you're gonna say, if you're gonna bury me, bury me. He really been getting at Gunther, making Gunther look very weak and making himself look very strong, I might add. But other than that, though, Gunther, he really been speechless. Since he has been speechless, guys. Gunther, he did a sneak attack. He attacked Damian, and Damian attacked him back. It was a good back and forth between these guys. It's pretty much similar to what's been going on for the past several weeks, I might add. But Priest asked what happens when Gunther loses to a guy from the street. And this is when Damian Priest put Gunther offside on the ramp. I mean, not on the ramp, I'm sorry. Gunther was laid out, and Damian Priest did deliver a racist edge to announce table on Gunther. I'm not gonna lie, Gunther has been dominated for this past several weeks, leading to the Survivor Series match for the world title. He's literally been getting that Seth Rollins kind of treatment.
So whether you like it or not, you about to get that work, son.
That's what's been going on between Gunther and Damian Priest. Gunther's been giving him that work. Last week he decked him backstage. This week raises edge on announce table. Man, I'm not gonna lie, it's been good. And I gotta give him a yeet for that as well on top of that.
Yeet.
That's right, yeet. But like I said, it's been nothing too much different in the past couple of weeks. We've been seeing Gunther a more vulnerable state as the world champion. We're not used to seeing Gunther in that state. So it's definitely, he's been losing steam since losing to Cody Rhodes at Crown Jewel. But I will have my predictions later on about who's going to win between the match of Gunther versus Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. And that was the end of the first segment on Monday Night Raw. Let's get to the next segment or show, or match. The first match of the night was Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio of LWO versus American Made, which is the Creed brothers, Julius and Brutus Creed. Now this match here, no disappointment here. Nothing short of disappointment. They've always had great chemistry. Now, normally when these two go off against each other in a match, it's always LWO coming out on top, getting the win over them. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee were very good, very well together. I know it's always interference by Chad Gable or Ivy Now, and it's always LWO getting the advantage and winning. This time it was a little bit different. It was end up being LWO losing to American Made, and this was due to a distraction. And this is when Rey Mysterio mask was turned around backwards. So that was very, very different. And they got a roll up. American Made defeated Dragon Lee and Mysterio. Rey Mysterio, that is. So that was definitely different, though. Very good match, though. Let's get on to the next match of the show, shall we? Now we have the Intercontinental Championship match. We have Bron Breakker, the Intercontinental Champion, defending his championship against Ludwig Kaiser. These two had a good, intense match. Very good, intense. Now, as I called it, I knew that I felt that this match was so good. It was so good to back and forth. We saw Braun doing the Frankensteiner. We saw Kaiser get some good offense in there. But I had a feeling that this was not going to end on a clean sweep. And I was right. Sheamus interfered in the match. He attacked Bron Breakker, and Kaiser won the match via disqualification. Now, you know Adam Pearce he gets tired of these interference, and I like how Adam Pearce has been on fire as a GM for Raw. He has not been taking no crap for the past better half of this year. Ever since Nick Aldis been on SmackDown, he's been fully to Raw. He's really been on one, and I got to give it to Adam Pearce. He wouldn't have made a match official between these three men since they was all attacking each other. It will be a triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship. Bron Breakker defends the Intercontinental Championship against both Kaiser and Sheamus. So that was actually a good match and a good announcement. And again, we got to get a yeet.
Yeet.
So that was good. I'm glad this match ended. I don't like how it ended, but I do like the fact that they're going to at least make it up to Braun and let him get a fair title defense, and it'll be against both men. So we're gonna see more about that. But this was a good way. Like I said, I figured that Shay was going to interfere. Expected ending, but better outcome for the later on, which will be Survivor Series. Let's get on to the next match, shall we? World Tag Team Championship match. These guys, the Judgment Day. It seemed like they brand new title because they never defend these belts, but they defend against the War Raiders. We knew that Judgment Day was going to have something up their sleeve, and they do. But other than that, during the match, we saw Dominic Mysterio, we saw Carlito interfere for the Judgment Day behalf. Now, Warrior was able to fend him off, but since due to distraction, it was Judgment Day who got the advantage, and they end up retaining and still your World Tag Team Champions. Judgment Day defeated War Raiders. Now, this was a very, very expected ending, but I still got to give props where props due. Still was a pretty much storyline ending.
Yeet.
So yeah, nothing surprising here. I knew this was going to go down like this, guys. I knew that's how it would go. I like how both teams have been putting to work. War Raiders, come on, they weren't going to win the tag team belts like that. If anything, it'll be more of a story build-up, and it will be more of a PLE or a special Raw for that matter. So, not surprised about that. But it was a good matchup. So with that being said, War Raiders did not win the World Tag Team Championships last night. But the commentary team, they was definitely putting over Judgment Day. They was definitely doing everything. Eric and Ivar still look sharp. Despite being out, it looked like they didn't miss any ring time. Let's get on to the next match, shall we? We got the New Day versus Alpha Academy. Now, this was a different type of match. We know that Kofi and Xavier have not been on the same page. It's either Kofi lose a singles match, Xavier lose a singles match, or they lose a tag team match. And this match was no different. Actually, the Alpha Academy got the upper hand on New Day. Kofi got pinned in a squash match, and Alpha Academy won. Afterwards, Kofi and Xavier are arguing. Kofi mad at Xavier, but really was Kofi's fault, and things just got very heated and tense between these two, and it ended up becoming a good verbal back and forth between Kofi and Xavier. And reminder, we do have the New Day reunion next week, but let's see how that went.
With that, Kofi, you pissed it away on a silver platter in 6 seconds to Brock Lesnar.
I gotta say, this was cinema. This was a great segment between Kofi and Xavier. Kudos to the writing team. I have been giving them crap for weeks saying Kofi, Xavier, this is dragging out, it's getting too long. They need to hurry and do it, but this is actually perfect storytelling. So again, I gotta give them a yeet.
Yeet.
I like how these guys definitely did their thing in the whole thing. So kudos to these guys. Like I said, we got the whole reunion next week. Expect Big E to return. He will show up, and expect a big New Day breakup. Expect that to come very, very, very soon. Much sooner than later, I will say. But this was a very good, squash match. Very good storytelling between these guys. With that being said, let's continue on with the show. We do have the main event coming up soon. Now, there were other segments. We had, Scarlett. She was attacked by Nikki Cross backstage. We had that going on. I will get to later the announcement of the brand new Women's Intercontinental Championship. I will talk about that in the current news. We had a few other segments, other stuff, just a whole bunch of stuff going on. Other than that, we're going to get on to the main event of the show. And we will talk about the WarGames Advantage match. Speaking of which, Bianca, she got to Rhea backstage. Still mad about Jade Cargill getting attacked. I made a video about that earlier. Her and Rhea trying to figure out who's going to take Jade Cargill's place. But that leads up to this match here. Main event, Nia Jax versus Bianca Belair. Let's see how that turned out here. Now this main event here, we saw Nia dominate as usual. We saw Bianca, get some offense and her dominate as usual as well. But we knew that this was not going to end well. We knew something was going to happen, and in fact did. It was pretty much Bayley interfered in the match. She attacked Nia Jax while Nia was on top rope when Bianca almost got the 10 count being outside. And Bianca got the pinfall on Nia 1, 2, 3. Bianca's team gets WarGames advantage, and it's thanks to Bayley. And we're saying that Bayley, she is pretty much, she is the woman to take Jade Cargill's place. But that was all of Monday Night Raw, guys. That was all of the show. Definitely interesting to see. Soon I get my rating, then we'll go what went wrong with Raw. Well, let's see. We had a lot going on this Raw, but despite that, we had New Day, they're imploding. We have Bianca. She got to her teammates. They're not getting along so much. Let's be honest there too. But other than that, had a lot of stuff going on. Tag team matches, everything. Everything. We had an Intercontinental Championship defended. But other than that though, this wasn't too much. This was actually a good show overall. I will say that. But other than that, though, guys, this is the last show before WarGames, and I'm gonna give my rating right now on it. You guys, let me know what do you think of it, and I'll give it right now. Let's see, and then we have some backstage segments too. But despite all of that, guys, let's see. What do I give this show here for this week? I gotta say, very good show. I will have to give the show 4.5 out of 5. Very good Raw. In only 2 hours. We got to get credit where credit's due. We got to get credit there. I like where this is going. I like how this is headed out. Very good segment there. Very good. Other than that, though, guys, this was good. Like I said, a lot of good segments here on Raw. Some good matches here, everything. But I think this was a good way to call it. Good match here. Good story. Some things I was not fond of. I didn't like how it went down. But other than that, I still think it was a very good show. Very good show. I'm not gonna like I said, give credit where credit's due. I still think it was a good show overall. We are heading to WarGames. A lot of things were skeptical about how the WarGames was set up, but I see that WWE and the creative team is definitely pretty much everything's starting to come full circle with these storylines. If that makes any sense. See, you guys thought about this here. Braun is going to win. All you talking about Survivor Series. We'll see, though. I'm going to get to that in a second. Zayn. But, yeah, I think this was very solid, though. With that being said, we got to get into the whole what went wrong with Raw. Got to get to that in a second, which I will. And we'll get into that soon. But before we do get to soon, if you haven't already, you go to my community tab, guys. You can let me know, what do you think of Monday Night Raw? Let's see what people thought about so far. We have 75% of people gave it an A. We have 15% of people gave it a B. 6% gave it a C. And only 3% gave it a D or F. Like I said, it was close to an A. 4.5 B+. Very good show. With that being said, let's go over what went wrong with Raw. Despite what I give the show the rating, I'm going to go over what I think of the show, what could have been done for the show to be better. I'll always go over that part, which I will do. So with that being said, let's see what's some things I didn't like about it. First thing was the Damian and Gunther segment. Now I know that Damian's been cooking. I know Gunther has been coming out and looking vulnerable, but for the past several weeks, it just seemed like it's a rinse and repeat. Damian has second, third time has been getting the upper hand on Gunther. I get it. They have to make Gunther watered down since he lost to Cody at Crown Jewel. I get that, but I feel like it's a rinse and repeat. And I think it's going to lead into my prediction of what I think of the Survivor Series match between Gunther and Damian for the world title, which I'll get to in a second. And since this is still like it's a watered down segment back and forth, I know Gunther has been getting that work. I gotta call it out. And you know what happens if I think something on rinse and repeat. For guys who do follow the channel.
You just made the list!
So I think it's just been a repetitive thing. I get this week they try to give Gunther a little more offense, but it seems like Damian's been getting the upper hand on this one, maybe a little bit too much. So that's how I view that. So with that being said, let's get on to another thing I didn't like. Bayley did. I don't think this is for the women's main event, the WarGames Advantage match. I don't think Bayley needed to cheat for Bianca to win. I don't think she had to pull Nia down. She could just distract Nia. I don't think she had to put her hands on Nia because Bianca has the strength and the skill to beat Nia, despite Nia being bigger and being the women's champion. I thought that made it seem like what Bayley did was a heel tactic, and I don't think Bianca needed that much to win. A distraction would be just enough. A distraction would just do, not so much Bayley interfering on and touching Nia for that much. But I get it; they had to run with story for Bayley to be on good terms with Bianca and also to get the spot to replace Jade. So I get it, but I still have to call it out. You know what happens when I see things like this happen.
You just made the list!
So yeah, that's what I see for that. Bayley, like I said, very good to make the team look good, but I didn't think that she had to touch Nia and pull it down from the rope. You could just showed up, or you just had your music hit and just stand at the apron. But that's how I would have played that out. But that's all I have for what went wrong with Raw. We are going to get to current news in a second. We'll get to that very shortly. So let's get into that. Current news. We are going to talk about, yes, the brand new Women's Intercontinental Championship that was announced on Monday Night Raw. Now, we know that Nick Aldis a couple weeks ago, he did announce that there will be a Women's United States Championship. Now, it was skeptical will it be for both brands or just SmackDown, but it pretty much now we know it was just for SmackDown. Now, I know there was speculation or Raw get a Netflix championship, a TV title is Raw going to Netflix, but announced at next year for the to help kick off Netflix, but it's been announced right now. And Adam Pearce made that announcement. So let's see what he had to say.
Of excellence to fight for, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you the brand new WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship.
So that was Adam Pearce announcing a new title, and there will be a championship for the women's brand on Raw as well as SmackDown. So I know that's a very, very big announcement for the women. I know they're glad to hear that. And like I said, well deserved. We have more than enough women on the roster, and I think a championship will do them justice. So I'm very glad that's the case. But people been talking about it online, social media. I will say one thing that was pointed out on social media that I didn't even take account to, and I thought about it, and it made perfect sense. One person went on X to talk about this here. They said introducing. Let me make sure you guys can see it. Introducing the Women's Intercontinental Championship without honoring the first only female champion, which is China, is nasty work. I'm going to hold off on my rant for now, Triple H. But at least you could do is name this tournament after China, which is China Joni Lohner on Raw. And they actually had a point. Why hasn't this been honored after China, who is the only woman to hold the Intercontinental Championship? That is true, though. I didn't even think about that. That is controversy, but we know that they how they feel about China, but it definitely makes sense, and that kind of sucks on that end. And I think despite whatever China got into, which I know she did it on the best terms, she went and got to CORN industry before she passed, and her course of relationship with Triple H Stephanie. That kind of sucks though, and that's how I feel about that.
And no yeet.
That is kind of true. Why wasn't this championship or this title honored after China? China did, and a lot of women in the industry, I said this before on this channel, they model themselves after China. Rhea Ripley, Jordan Grace, Jay Cargill, they all have said that China has been an inspiration to their career. Even got me into wrestling. She has a big influence over the women today in wrestling. Why wasn't this honor after China? But despite that, I am glad that the women on Raw is getting a secondary championship, just like they got one for SmackDown. Very happy for that. I'm not going to take nothing away from that. This is very, very good for both brands. Because we see a lot of women on Raw and SmackDown that don't even get close to the women's championship or the women's world title, and they're not even in a tag team. They never get any type of championship, and now they get that. Now we get to see that. So that's very good to honor that. So I'm very happy for that, for the women's brands, because it would seem kind of odd that SmackDown get a women's championship, a secondary championship, and Raw don't get one. But now we see that both brands get that now. Makes perfect sense. So we got SmackDown, Women's United States, Raw, Women's Intercontinental. So that's good now. We got to give that, once again, a yeet.
Yeet.
So yeah, this is very good to see. Both women get that. And in case you didn't notice too, not only both women have a secondary championship for both brands. I don't know if you guys know about this as well. In a total of all three brands, women now have 7 championships, singles or tag team, between 3 brands of Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. We now have the women's world title, that's for Raw. We have the women's championship for SmackDown. We have the NXT Women's Championship for NXT. We have now the Women's Intercontinental Championship for Raw. We have the Women's North American Championship for NXT and the Women's United States Championship for SmackDown. All singles titles, and of course the tag team championships that could be defended on all 3 brands. But this is very, very big for the women's division. All women WWE, they get more of the opportunities than they ever did before. We definitely see that now. This is not a coincidence. So I'm glad to see that for the women. They're getting the opportunity. I'm glad that the women are finally getting some, you know, at least getting some respect put on their name. So that's very, very good to see. I'm very happy for that. Very happy for that for the women. So that's very good to see that all women get that opportunity now. And I know that we don't have women sitting around, sitting on the sidelines, Raw, SmackDown, not doing nothing, sitting for months and months and months. And now we know they have an opportunity to get one of these championships. Whatever brand they on, for that matter, it's just very good to see that. I'm very happy about that for the women. Like I said, it will serve them justice. It'll do them good. But man, that is a lot of gold. I mean, they have almost as many championships for the men's brand. I mean, the men's division. We see that now. So this is very, very good to see. Um, there's nothing else more to say. Nothing else more to say. Give me 1 second. Like I said, it's a very good opportunity for the women division. Like I said, Adam Pearce made that announcement. Very good announcement. Now we got 2 titles that will be no Netflix title, no TV title. It's just very good for the women. Like I said before, we shouldn't see so many women get on the list to get released now. It'll give more women opportunity to have a job because someone has to defend these belts. And of course, we got the Women's Speed Championship, but we know that's only on X. That's not on regular programming of Raw, SmackDown, NXT. I didn't want to add that in there. That's the X only championship with the deal with X and WWE. But I will say, that Intercontinental design looks good. Looks very, very good. I like how this belt looks. You guys let me know what you think of this belt. This belt is a very good design. Looks very good. Almost looks better than the whole almost look better than the whole, I don't know. It was better than the women's. It's up there with United States Women's Championship. I will say that. Almost looks good, but I'll give credit where credit's due. With that being said, I know on Ring the Bell, if you guys familiar with that channel, very good channel. They actually talk about the Women's United States Championship. He mentioned, I forgot his name, but he talks about it. Let's see what he has to say about it.
Okay, wow. That was a really quick segment. Honestly, that was a really quick segment. Honestly, okay, so the belt design, I think the belt design looks really, really cute. I'm kind of surprised that they did just like a backstage segment for that. But again, I am very happy for the women because they have one more thing to fight for. So I guess the concept is that they're going to be defending on both Raw and SmackDown. It gives opportunity for both brands, which I think it's a really great idea. Because if you think about it, especially on Raw, outside of Liv and Rhea, I mean, Rhea's out with injury right now, but outside of those, like, nobody got nothing. We now have all these different talents that have something to fight for. Same for SmackDown, like freaking Candice LeRae, Mia Yim. They got they were just there, but I think SmackDown did do a better job incorporating them into storyline, but I'm really glad they have something to fight for. I mean, this is, again, really, really great, because if you think about it, like, women's division is so big right now. So big, but, like, they're all just going for one title. So, like, obviously, all these different women are just, like, left doing nothing because there's only one, like, one storyline going on. Granted, WWE had all the opportunity to do all these non-title storyline, and they really still should do more of those. And I'm glad that this is happening after they kind of figure out what they're doing with the tag team championship. Crown Jewel, actually, for the first time in a very long time, I was like, this is a tag feud that I'm kind of down for. So after that, maybe they felt a little more confident to present this new title. But I'm like, what the hell is going on? Why are we freaking doing this tribal chief acknowledgement ceremony, whatever? So we can't do a freaking title reveal in a freaking ring with all the women, like, and they're not even like the freaking real bloodline. The bloodline is literally bane of my freaking existence. I freaking hate them so much. Sorry, I just got really negative. I am again annoyed that they had to give this ceremony segment for freaking bloodline, so they couldn't give the actual historic moment in the ring with all the women. That would have been so cool. But it's okay. It's okay. We've got the title. I think it looks, I mean, isn't it just a color change of the men's US title, isn't it? I think it's cute. It's fine. I think it's really cute. I think there's a lot of gear opportunity using the flag. So I'm here for it. I'm really curious how they're going to crown the first champion. I'm really, really excited about that. Who do you want to see as the first champion? I would be... honestly, if I had to choose like right away, I'd honestly either give it to Natalya. Natalya being the first US champion, I think that's going to be like iconic. It's going to give some lineage. It's going to give some weight to it. Like Natalya or Naomi, acknowledging them for the veteran they are, the legends they are. They've been in this business for so freaking long. So honestly, I kind of want to do that. Or I would go with like Michin or Candice, or even Shayna, to be honest. No, I don't think Shayna's the... No, I don't think Shayna... Like, I would want Shayna as, like, maybe the second champion, because I love Shayna's NXT Women's Championship reign. I want, like, a happy ending, like, this deserving moment. I think I want more of a babyface moment, and I know Candice is heel, yes. But Candice or Michin, I think it would bring so much energy to them as the wrestler, because I think WWE tried to do that a couple times, but I think this will really, like, give them a boost that they deserve. Because, like...
All right, that was Ring the Bell talking about the announcement of the United States Championship. Like I said, at the beginning, people thought that it was going to be defended on both brands, but that is no longer the case. We have the Women's Intercontinental Championship, which will be for the Raw brand for those Raw women that's on that show, and women's have on SmackDown have the United States belt. So like I said, within the past couple of weeks, we got 2 brand new championships that will help elevate the women. That's not in the main event, in the women's world title or women's championship picture, or women that's not in a tag team division. And we have a lot of women on the roster on both shows that can now get the opportunity. That could help elevate them to maybe the world title picture for Raw or the women's championship for SmackDown later on. This could really give them some shine. So I think this is going to be a great opportunity. It's going to be tournaments for both. All they got to do is take the opportunity and run with it. That's all they have to do. But I think it's great, though. Great opportunity for both brands. I mean, they literally have all the opportunities that men have. So it really is equal opportunity. We see more women main eventing shows like Raw, SmackDown, and maybe even some PLEs. Remember, we had the women main event WrestleMania back in WrestleMania 39 in 2019. Now we have women have almost equal amount of championships as the men's. So they're definitely getting a lot of notice now and a lot of screen time. But yeah, what you guys think of the whole announcement of a brand new women's Intercontinental Championship that was announced by Adam Pearce on Monday Night Raw? You guys let me know what you think. That is the end of current news. And of course, WWE Raw is at the end of New Day. Bianca Belair gives WarGames advantage. Now it's time to shift gears. We are going to go into bonus round, and we're going to talk about Survivor Series WarGames 2024 match card early predictions. All right, guys, we're here. We're going to start in a second. We're gonna go over each match, and we're gonna see who's gonna win what. Give me a couple minutes, we'll get that going, and we're gonna talk about who's gonna win each what. So give me a couple minutes, we'll get that started. We'll see who's gonna come out, who will finish. All right, guys, we here at the bonus round here. We are going to talk about it. We're gonna talk about the War Games early match predictions. There'll be no particular order. Um, we'll talk about it. Now I'm gonna go over each match, and I'll tell you guys who do I have, the match card and story, and we'll see who's gonna win each one. So let's actually start off with World. Let's talk about What's a good thing to talk about? Which match should I start off with first, guys? You know what? I think I'm going to talk about a good one here. I think a good one would be discussed right now. I'm going to talk about the in-ring general versus Damian Priest. Let's talk about that. Now, we know that Damian Priest had won a 4-way match for number one contendership for the right to face Gunther, and we know this will be the first time Damian Priest be fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship again since he lost the championship to Gunther at SummerSlam due to interference from Finn Balor. But lately, like I said, the past couple of weeks, Gunther has been getting the advantage on, Damian Priest has been getting the advantage on Gunther. And since he began the advantage on Gunther, Gunther has been looking a little vulnerable. We know that he lost against Cody Rhodes. Gunther has been attacked backstage by Damian Priest. Damian Priest always been one-upping Gunther. He tried to get Damian Priest last week. Damian Priest got him. He tried to get him this week on Raw. Damian got him again with the Razor's Edge over the announce table. He tried to do the sleeper on Damian last week. Damian decked him. And with that being said, who do I have winning this match for the world title? Will Damian become new World Heavyweight Champion? Will Gunther retain? Now, despite Gunther being looking kind of vulnerable, Gunther retains. He's going to retain the world title against Damian Priest. And I'm going to tell you why. Lately on Raw, Finn Balor still has mentioned, despite losing the match against Damian Priest at Bad Blood, he said that he's still upset that Damian Priest is challenging Gunther for the world title. He's mad that Damian Priest is still a contender for that title. So expect, once again, Finn Balor to interfere during this matchup between Gunther and Damian Priest. He's going to once again cost Damian the world title, and I guess they'll reignite their feud. Now, somehow, by some slim chance, maybe a Damian will come out and win the world title again. But since I heard Finn Balor say that, I could see easily Damian losing and not winning. So I have that. That's my prediction for that matchup. Let's get on to the next match on the card, shall we? All right. We're going to talk about LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, for the past several weeks, Shinsuke Nakamura made his return to WWE. He attacked LA Knight not once, but on two separate occasions. And it's clear that he's coming after LA Knight. He wants to challenge for the United States Championship. Now, there's really been no big story build here. It's only been two occasions, but this match has been announced. LA Knight will challenge. He will defend his United States Championship against challenger Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, with that being said, Shinsuke, I like how he returned, but he does the same shtick every time he comes back. He's the foreign heel. He attacks from the high. He's a sneaky heel. He challenges for whatever title he challenged for, whether it's for a world title, WWE Championship, Intercontinental Championship, United States Championship, and the same fate always apply. Shinsuke will not win. He will lose. This will be no different. I have LA Knight retaining his United States Championship against Shinsuke. There's been no build with Shinsuke. No build at all. So Shinsuke's not going to win. He's not going to walk out of Survivor Series WarGames with that title. I don't see it happening. I just don't see it. I don't see it happening at all. So we'll see. That's how that is going to be with that. But I don't see that being the case. So LA Knight will retain United States Championship against Shinsuke. But let's get on to the next match on the card. We have another secondary championship that be defended. That will be Bron Breakker defending his Intercontinental Championship against both Ludwig Kaiser and Sheamus. We know both of these guys, they have an issue with Braun, and they have an issue with all each other. All three of these men want to beat each other up. Let's call it what it is. And every time one wants to fight Gunther for his title, the other interferes. Kaiser interferes when Sheamus wants to fight for the title. Sheamus interferes when Kaiser wants to fight for the IC belt. But now it's all in one. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see how this is gonna go. This is Bron Breakker's second run with the championship. We're gonna see how this is gonna work out this time. Championship ended prematurely the first time, losing against Jey Uso. But we're gonna see how this one gonna end this time around. With as far as that goes for Mr. Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker, he is a bad boy. I don't care what nobody say. I saw this early on NXT. He was going to be something, and he's proven that right now. Future world champion for Bron Breakker. I'm calling that right now. But it's a fun fact, in case you guys didn't know. It's a little fun fact. A couple years ago, they always have a triple threat for the secondary championship. If you guys remember, for Survivor Series WarGames, then champion Seth Rollins, who was the United States champion for the Raw brand, he defended that title against Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory in a triple threat. Austin Theory won that night, became the new United States champion. And this is before the world title became the Raw. But now they're doing a triple threat again. This time it will be Bron Breakker defending the championship, secondary championship, the IC belt for the Raw brand against Sheamus and Kaiser. Just a little fun fact. With that being said, now Bron Breakker does have a chance of losing the championship. He is at a big disadvantage, but despite being a big disadvantage, he's been on one, and I have him retaining the Intercontinental Championship. I don't see him losing. Bron is going to show up and show out. And they're also saying that Bron's not really a heel. He's more like a tweener character. But despite that, Bron's going to retain. So that's why I have winning for that. But let's get to the women's and men's War Games matches. Let's get into that. First, we have the women's War Games match. We have the team of Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, originally Jade Cargill. Now it's Bayley, more likely. Bayley's in the poster. So I want to notate that. It was an odd pairing, but Bayley's in there. Io Sky Naomi versus Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Candice LeRae. Now, two good stacked teams. Makes sense. Who do I have winning this War Games match? I got to go for Rhea's team, or whoever the team is. Whoever it is. I would say the team of Bianca, Rhea, Bayley, Io, and Naomi, they're going to win. I got them winning. I don't. Normally, babyface wins the War Games match, men's and women's. And I see Rhea or Bianca's team, whoever, they're going to win that match. So I got them winning that particular matchup. Last but not least, let's get to the men's War Games matchup. Now, this is definitely interesting here. We have the men's War Games match, which is now Roman Reigns, the Usos, Sami Zayn, and CM Punk now, going against the New Bloodline and Bronson Reed. Now, this will really go either way. OG Bloodline still can lose, and New Bloodline can win. But since CM Punk is on the OG Bloodline squad, announced by Paul Heyman on SmackDown, I do see OG Bloodline winning. Now, Paul Heyman, you cannot trust that man. Still can't trust him. Paul Heyman could either still turn on Roman Reigns. He was dressed like Solo on SmackDown. I know I didn't cover SmackDown or NXT versus AEW due to me being sick. Apologize for that. But since I have been watching Raw and SmackDown I still see they could turn on after the match or later on that SmackDown. Or maybe Drew McIntyre come back and attack CM Punk. But I do see OG Bloodline still winning this matchup. So let's not sleep on that. But that would be a very good way to end that. I still see that going down for that matter. It could be very well be the case here. I want to see it going down any other way. But other than that, though, guys, that's how the men's War Games will end. We have a total of all together 5 matches on the card. And this is going to be a very good stacked matchup. It's literally the last PLE of the year. We do have Saturday night's main event. No women's world championship being defended. No women's championship being defended. No WWE championship being defended. The only world title of men's and women's being defended is the World Heavyweight Championship, which would be Gunther and Damian Priest. And Cody Rhodes will defend his championship against Kevin Owens at Saturday night's main event. Other than that, this is a good card looking for the Survivor Series War Games. Cannot wait until this Saturday. If you guys are TNA fans, you have TNA Turning Point this Friday. Just to notate that if you watch it. May do a watch along on that. Keep an eye out for that. Other than that, though, that's all I have regarding Survivor Series 2024 War Games, match card predictions, early predictions, maybe final. We'll see if anything happens on SmackDown. If anything's announced on SmackDown for War Games, any extra match, I'll do a final predictions. But more likely, this is more likely to be the final prediction for War Games. But it's a stacked card. I was very skeptical about this card at first because of the way the teams were set up. But as we've seen the past week, the men's and women's War Games match have been changed. The teams have switched up, and it looks much better than it did prior to. Other than that, though, guys, you guys let me know what do you think of the Survivor Series 2024 War Games. Do you guys like the card or don't like the card? You like the men's and women's teams or not the teams? I would like to hear more about that. So you guys check out the content, click out 2 links below, and we're going to head off and get ready to watch NXT soon, which I will cover as well. They have deadline the following week after Survivor Series War Games. But thank you all for coming out, guys, checking out the show. Greatly appreciate it. You guys already know what it is at this point. It is OUNT.
Like I say this a lot, we're not a sport, we're a movie about a sport or a TV show about a sport, right? So the interest of all the other...
I feel like the heel turn did wonders for me. There was a sense of reality in that to where I had hit a point and the babyface stuff was going great. The Alpha Academy stuff was going great. We had a blast with that. But I'm a realist and I'm also like a long-term thinker.